Every chord you've ever played is based off of 5 shapes. Don't believe me? In this video, I'm going to show you what they are, how you can use them to make your chord progressions and playing sound more interesting, prettier, more fun, kind of spark your creativity a little bit, and make you able to play any chord anywhere on the fretboard. Hey, I'm Russ. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for spending some time with me today. Hope you're having a great week. In this video, I might just kind of blow your mind a little bit. I know this blew my mind when I first had it explained to me, partially because I've been playing guitar for a really long time and no one ever explained it, and I was already doing this and I didn't know it. You might have heard this explained as the caged system, and there's lots of different terms and things people use the caged system for. I'm going to be talking specifically about chords. I'm not going to talk about scales or any type of lead playing or anything, just specifically chords and how all the chords that we use on guitar can be stripped down and distilled down to these 5 shapes, okay? And what are they? Well, it's in the name. Imagine that. We're guitar players. We're not all that creative about naming things, okay? Caged. They are C, A, G, E, and D. All of the other chords we play come back to those 5 shapes, okay? I talked about a few of them in another video, and yes, I know in that video I said you don't need a lot of fancy chord shapes, and that's true. I'm not changing anything here. I'm not changing my tune. But what I want to explore with you today, that those 4 shapes, plus the 2 that I hadn't talked about in that video, you modify them a little bit, learn how to move them, learn how to use them, and you can play anything, anywhere, basically in any key. So let's start simple. Let's say 4 chords in a capo is kind of a popular thing, right? So let's say G, C, D, E minor. Very popular progression. We add a capo, we can move it around, right? That G, C, D, E, because of how the fretboard is constructed, which I'll explain in a second, don't worry. If I put that on the 5th fret, I'm playing a G shape, but the chord you're hearing is now a C chord, okay? Let me prove it to you. G shape on the 5th fret, C shape, open. Sounds a little different, right? But the overall chord, the chord you're hearing is still a C. I'll play it again. C, open. G shape on the 5th fret. If you listen for that main note, the root note, which is the name of the chord, is a C. Let me show you another one. This time I won't use a capo. So here is C chord again. Now if I play an A shape, which is this, I play it with 1 finger. You probably learned it with 3, like so. Which fingers you use doesn't matter a ton right now. Okay, so here's an A. You hear the shape. Here's a C. Now, if I move the A up to the 3rd fret, or up 3 frets, I should say. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to bar it. Here's a bar chord. All a bar chord is means I'm just playing more than 1 string, more than 1 note with 1 finger. Okay? Ooh. There it is. So you hear it's still a C chord. Here's another one. Still a C chord. But now, anyone recognize the shape? Put in the comments if you recognize the shape I'm playing here. Correct. It's an E shape. It's another bar chord. I'm barring across the 1st, 2nd, and 6th strings. There's my E shape. I'm playing it with my index finger at the 8th fret, but we're hearing a C chord. So, what I'm doing when I use a capo is I'm just moving those 5 shapes. What I'm doing when I play a bar chord is I'm moving one of those 5 shapes. Okay? I can do the same thing. I mentioned an E right here. When I move that one, I can do the same thing with a C shape. It's a little less common, but it's a very nice sounding chord. Okay? Now you'll notice you would never play a C shape like this in the open position, okay? You would play it here. You might play some alterations, play a ninth or something like that. But you're gonna play it with 1, 2, and 3 probably. Maybe 1, 2, and 4 if you're getting fancy, whatever. 1, 2, and 3. But if I play it with 2, 3, and 4, like so, now I can use my index finger to move it around. My index finger now becomes the capo, okay? So imagine capo here, take it off, now it's my index finger, all right? Now the key to playing bar chords, to barring notes, is it's a mixture of hand strength, finger position, and endurance. I remember when I first learned bar chords, I just found a song that forced me to play bar chords the entire song, and I just kept playing it until my endurance and my hand strength was built up enough to play through the whole song. For me, it was an A and a B chord, right? Because I didn't know how to play them any other way. Specifically the B. I didn't know how to play the B any other way. But now I know a lot of ways because of this method. So back to it. So we're at the C, A, G, E, D. So what do we do with those shapes? Well, the first thing to do, once you can play through them smoothly and change between them, what I want you to do is start playing them with different fingers. So instead of playing your D chord with 1, 2, and 3, play it with 2, 3, and 4. Okay, same chords, same notes rather. Play it. Because like I said, this is going to free up your index finger to move around, okay? Again, D chord, not really common as a bar chord shape, but knowing it is helpful. Same thing with the C we just talked about. G chord, you're not really gonna move that around a lot because you're gonna see the A shape kind of takes over. So if I move a G chord, you noticed this a minute ago, for one, it's a very difficult stretch. Just checking my screen to make sure you can see me still. It's a very difficult stretch. And there's not really a whole lot that's distinctive about the sound. What we're actually hearing mostly is these 3 notes, okay? Which is that A shape. So you're not really gonna use a G chord a lot. It's good to know because you might use an inversion. I won't get too nerdy on you, but an inversion just means I'm taking a different note and putting it as the lowest note. So the chord doesn't change, okay? This is still a C chord, but when I invert it, I'm just changing the lowest note to a different note in the chord. And it just gives it a little different flavor. More on that in a different lesson. All right, so C, A, G, E, D. You know the 5 names of those chords, the 5 shapes. Those are all the major chords. And then let's say you've now progressed to being able to play them all without your index finger, because remember our index finger is going to take on a new job as a capo. Same thing, E, let's see, A. When I bar an A shape, I like to play it with my ring or pinky finger, depending on the day. My knuckles happen to be the right size to play those 3 strings perfectly. But you do you, whatever works for you, works for you. All right, so we can play all of those with not our index finger. So I'm gonna forget the G for now, because like I said, he can kind of live where he lives. We don't need to bring him along for this ride. All right, so now when I move them, the shape stays the same. And I'm gonna try and make sure I'm clear on what I'm playing versus what you're hearing, okay? because the shape can stay the same. And when I say it's a C shape, it means we're basing it off of that shape in the open position or first position. So open position means there's open strings involved. First position meaning we're at the first fret, okay? Our index finger is living at the first fret. So there. Now, how do we use these up and down the neck? So the next thing to do, once you can play them without your index finger, and you can change between them, move them around, but how do you know what chord you're playing? Because, okay, great, I can play all these cool shapes, but how do I know what chord that is? Great question, glad you asked. The next thing to do is know how to identify each chord. So find where in that shape is kind of the identifying note, or the root note. The root note, when we're in music theory, is the note that we name the chord after. So a G chord, the root is a G. Okay? C chord, the root is a C. A chord, the root is a, you guessed it, A. Okay, an A note. We won't talk about the other notes in the chord for now. Okay, we'll leave that for another video. For now, we just need to know the root, because that tells us what chord we're playing. Let's start with the C chord and just go down the line. So in a C chord, the root note is in two places, okay? It's here on the 5th string, 3rd fret, and it's on the 2nd string, 1st fret. Now, that's important for this chord. It's one of the few chords where we're actually playing the root note twice in these shapes, or at least twice in a way that's useful. Okay, so the C is here, the root is on these two notes, which means as I move, the root is moving. So now the root is a D. So if I play the full shape, it's now a D chord, okay? If I go up here, 5th position, meaning my index finger is on the 5th fret, okay? It's now an F chord, because the two markers for where the root are, roots are, their roots are at Jimmy's studio. The root of this chord is right here. So on the 5th string, we're at the 8th fret. 2nd string, we're at the 6th fret, and it's an F, okay? Go up 2 more frets, it's now a G. With me so far? Excellent. All right, let's go to the A. Now A, we're gonna get into one of our more standard bar chord shapes. So you've probably seen it before. How you play an A major chord in open position is entirely up to you. Again, we wanna leave the index finger free to be a bar, to be a capo, okay? So A, gonna slide up 2 frets, now it's a B. Right? Slide up 3 frets to the 5th position, it's now a D, right? Now this is very uncomfortable for me, so I'm gonna kind of double bar it, all right? And play it like this. It might help if you kind of stack your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th finger like this. So you'll also notice, quick side note, you'll also notice each shape sounds a little different, has a little bit different voice. So C shape sounds like this, but an A shape sounds like this, or an E shape sounds like this. Interesting. You might say it has a different voice. I said that already, but I'm going to say it again because you've probably heard the term chord voicings. All we're saying is just we're using a different shape to play the same chord. Okay? Now, hopefully I haven't blown your mind too much. Stay with me. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, so A. So where do we identify the A chord? The root of the A chord, again, is in 2 places, but I'm only going to show it to you in one because it's really the only place where it matters. Okay? So the A, the root, is actually on the A string because it's open. So what that means is as we move, that A string becomes our root note. It tells us what chord we're playing. So if I'm playing an A shape on the 5th fret, on the fifth string, I'm also playing a D. So I'm playing a D chord. Okay? Now, in case you haven't picked up on it, it's very important that you learn the names of the notes on the fretboard. Now, you probably don't need to learn them all on every string if you don't want to play lead, okay? If you don't want to improvise solos and things like that. You probably don't need to learn it on all the strings, but you absolutely need to learn all of the names of the notes on the fifth and sixth string. Possibly the fourth, but definitely the fifth and sixth. Because if you'll notice, two of the chord shapes we've talked about both have their identifying note, their root note can be found on the fifth string. Now, moving on. G shape, we're skipping him. Let's go to the E shape. All right, again, leaving the index finger free to be a capo. Now, the root note for the E shape is conveniently on the E string. Now, with the E shape, we're actually playing the root 3 times on the 6th string, the 4th string, and the 1st string. Now, only one of those is useful. You guessed it, it is on the 6th string. The other places where we see the root note are not super helpful for us right now, so we're just gonna ignore them. Free up the index finger, and now we move it. So I move it 1 fret, and on the 6th string, I am playing an F note, which means if I'm playing an E shape, I'm now playing an F major chord. Okay? Move it up 2 more. Sorry, you saw me get lazy and start to use my thumb. That's not correct. Wink, wink. If your thumbs are big enough, go for it. All right, up to the 3rd fret. Now we're playing a, put it in the comments if you guessed it, G chord. Very good. We'll just keep moving up. A on the 5th fret, B on the 7th fret, C on the 8th fret. We've already talked about that. Okay, all with an E shape. Okay, one more, and then we're gonna have a little bit of fun. If you're not having fun already, I hope you're having fun already. If you're not having fun by now, what are you doing? Have some fun already. Okay, D shape. Free up the index finger. Now, the D shape has the root note on the D string. How convenient. Okay? Yes, it also has the root note on the 2nd string. That's marginally helpful. We'll talk about it in a minute. All right, so D, move it up 2 frets. What do we have? E. You'll notice, barring a D chord, for as simple as a D chord is, gets a little tricky because that's a little bit of a spread right there. And I have decently big hands. So what I tend to do is when I'm playing a D shape, I sometimes will forget about that last note, which is why it's helpful to know the root can also be on the 2nd string, because I don't play this very much, okay? Because I'm doing a lot of work for 1 extra note. That's kind of silly. But I have this nice little kind of chimey, kind of sound if you can manage to strum. If you can manage to strum just those 3 strings, you have a nice chimey little tone. Okay, so we've worked through all 5 basic open shapes. Okay, C, A, G, E, D. We ignore the G, he doesn't get invited to the party. Now, let's have some fun. Because, as you might have been wondering, we don't always play major chords. In fact, in any given song, you tend to only play maybe 3 different major chords. Or 4 if it's, you know, fun. I don't know. So, how do we play our minor chords? Well, we just take the minor shape. So, C minor is really annoying. So he doesn't get invited to this party either. Let's go to A. So here's an A major, to make it A minor, we move this note down 1 fret. Don't ask me why, I'll explain it some other time. But now we have an A minor. What do? Free up the index finger. Now, A minor, B minor. Imagine that. C minor, D minor. Okay? From that shape. Major, minor, move it around. We already know where the root is. The root didn't change. We just changed the quality of the chord. Okay? Major, minor is quality. The root is the actual note. All right? So there it is. You already know how to use an A shape. All we're doing is changing the quality. Everything else stays the same. How we identify it didn't change. It's right here on the 5th fret. 5th fret. On the 5th string. Ugh. Talking too fast. All right. With me? Good. G. Still doesn't get invited to this party. All right, let's talk about an E. We make an E minor by lifting our finger off of the 3rd string. So no more 1st fret 3rd string, we just get rid of it. So now we have an E minor chord. The way we move it is the same as we move the E major chord. We're just not doing less work. Well, it's like this finger is doing less work, but the index finger now has to do a little more work because now we're barring 1 more string. So this one may take a little practice because now you're barring 1, 2, 3, and 6 with your index finger. Notice mine gets a little curvy when I do it. Play around with it till you get it working for you, right? But how I identify it doesn't change. Still on the 6th string. Okay? So now I can play E minor, F minor, A minor. Yes, I'm playing an A minor with an E shape. Crazy. But notice how they sound different, okay? Here's the E shape on an A minor, A shape with an A minor. A little different. Fascinating, yes? Okay, one more. D major, D minor. We're just gonna put the index finger down on that 1st fret of the 1st string instead of the 2nd fret of the 1st string. Free up the index finger. Now again, I'm doing a lot of work for 1 extra note. So when I use this shape, I'm probably just using 3 notes, okay? Now, what gets fun with the D minor shape is I can actually add this note here. Okay? Let's go back to the open position, 1st fret, okay? So D major, we're gonna make D minor. Now watch, I'm gonna use these 3 fingers, okay? 1, 2, and 4. We'll add the 3rd in a minute. So 2nd fret, 3rd string. 3rd fret, 2nd string. 1st fret, 1st string. Okay. Now if you wanna make it a little bit, not quite crunchy, but a little wavy, we'll say. I'm not changing any notes, I'm inverting it. Remember I talked about that a minute ago. I'm inverting it. So now the root we need to pay attention to is on the 2nd string. There's our D, okay? This is where you would have to know the notes on the 2nd string in order to use this shape and move it around well, okay? So, but what this does is it thickens it up a little bit. It means I don't have to strum just 3 notes, just 3 strings. There's an E minor, G minor, F minor. Okay, What I do a lot actually is I just use the middle 3 notes of this shape, and I just get rid of the first string, because it makes for some nice movement when you utilize that in another progression. But I digress. So, there's our D minor. All right, so we got C, A, G, E, D major, and then we're gonna minorize. It's a word now. The E and the A and the D if you feel like it. But it doesn't quite work as well, in my opinion. It works just fine. I take it back. It works just fine. I don't use it as much. If you like it, use it. No rule says you can't. One last thing, how to use them. So what this means is you don't have to use a capo all the time, and you don't have to just play songs in the same position all the time. You can play a G chord here, or you can play it up here. Okay? There's a C chord. This is where the G shape kind of like peeks out. Again, I'm kind of playing the A and adding a note from the G. So this is what it will look like, but I'm not playing the whole thing. Anyway. So rather than playing a G, C, D, I can play it up here. So with knowing these shapes and knowing how to use them, how to play them with different fingers, so without using your index finger, and then how to identify them and move them around, you can play any chord anywhere. You might already be doing this. You might not. But now you know how to do it. So drop in the comment if you've heard this before. The caged system for chords. I had been playing a really long time before anyone kind of connected these dots for me. I've been using these chords and playing these shapes, and it just opened up a whole new kind of way of looking at the fretboard and way of looking at chords and playing chords and how to make chords sound pretty together, and changed my playing after I've been playing for something like 10 years, I think. So, action item for you today, if you haven't already, go practice those open chords without using your index finger. That's your first step. While doing that, start studying what the notes are on the 5th and 6th strings at every fret. Okay? Thanks for watching. Hope this resonated with you. Drop a note in the comments, let me know. And if you're tired of being stuck and frustrated and confused on your music journey and want some help knowing what to do and where to go and just how to have fun again and play the things you want to play, click the link in the description to see how to work with me, and I will see you in another video real soon.